These are the kids that find these kids and help these kids to get safe.
Oh, modeling.
Yes. So when these kids help these kids to get safe, then these kids are ready to learn how to be self-aware. When kids are self-aware, when the kids are self-aware, then there's two groups of kids who are ready to find the next at-risk kids.
Wow.
And that's how we put the classroom together.
That way you're using other kids to help the younger kids.
Yeah, because the ideal situation in a learning situation isn't one teacher and 30 kids, right? It's 30 kids and adult who all agree that they are there for a common goal and they're going to support one another to achieve that goal. That's what this curriculum taught me. That's what those kids modeled for me. And the process was so powerful that the project expanded in a way that no one could possibly predict.
How so? I believe you.
What happened is these 3 books and the self-care book, those 4 books turned into 4 books and a workbook for each one. So each book has a workbook.
You should call it a playbook.
And there's a teacher's guide. So the 4 books turned into 9 books for the curriculum in the classroom. But when the word got out and these books found their way into bookstores and some of the schools, I was invited because of a former student that I had at another elementary school I taught. He saw the books and he said, I would like to invite you to meet with the warden at the local prison. And I had the opportunity.
Was his father in jail or something like that? Or?
No.
Oh, I'm just curious.
No, he was a security guard there.
Oh, okay.
And he saw the material and he said, I would like to see if we can get this into to the inmates. So I was invited to use his books as a model with the inmates, and I did exactly what happened in the classroom with the kids. I went to the inmates and I said, I'm here to learn.
Instead of judging them.
Yes, I'm here to learn, and tell me, who are you, what do you need, and how can I help? And what can we do together to make things better for others? Those questions had the same exact result. The inmates and I were able to identify, the men identified about 120 how-to titles, and the women identified about 90. And we met together over the years, and we went through all the different titles, identified which ones were relevant to their particular issues. And one of the first things that we did is we compiled information and made notes, and 12 inmates and myself put together a curriculum for at-risk kids that is called Redirecting Kids for Success. And this also comes with a workbook. And these are for high school kids who are dealing with issues that put them at risk for their own safety. And this material was compiled with the inmates.
This came out of jails and institutions?
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes. One of the other things that came as a result is that some of the judiciary system...
Easy for you to say.
Some of the judiciary system looked at the material and said, you know, this format is easy to read, easy to follow. One of the things that we need is we need information and material that couples can read, that will jar their thought process, that will perhaps slow down the number of people who are coming through for families that are breaking up. So I did exactly the same thing. I found families who were going through divorce, talked to kids who were on the other side of divorce, used my own personal history, and followed the similar format and put together possible ideas for divorce prevention.
Wow, perhaps I could use that. How about you?
Oh, me too.
It provides the perspectives, and you as the reader provides the solution, and this also comes with a workbook. And there was a principal here in an elementary school who saw the material, and she said, you know, what you have for the original 4 books, those books are great for middle school kids. She says, but I have little kids, you know, in grades kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade. Do you have anything for them? And I said, what I have is access to kids in that age group, and I will talk to my young friends. And so I met with a group of kids over a period of time, and we put together 7 or 8 basic how-to lessons that they identified for things that they wanted to learn. So we have self-help skills for little kids. Now, as a teacher, I have tremendous confidence in my abilities in the classroom, but as a business person, it has been quite a roller coaster ride. So in talking with people in the business world and institutions and banks, one of the things I was presented with was an invitation to put something together that addresses financial safety, something that has a simple format and will give people some perspective for how to be safe in a scary situation.
Wow.
So using my own example
It's getting busy up here. Holy
and
moly.
the format, we have the ultimate guide to getting financially safe with a workbook. And it's formatted very similar to the original 4 books. Lots of people are going through changes, and lots of people's lives are starting over. You know, some of my friends are in and out of rehab. People go through divorces, and some of the people that I know are going into prison, coming out of prison. And again, using the resources that I had to talk with the inmates, I was able to put material together called Bottoming Up, a starting point for starting over. So it has a book and a workbook. Safety issues. How do adults get safe in order to keep our kids safe? You know, what is that healing journey like? And how to create something simple that will invite someone who is in pain to be able to look at something so when they read it, they know that they're not alone. And again, using the format that I got from those original 160 kids, we have Getting Ready to Get Safe, and
Bridges for Healing, getting ready. Okay.
with the workbook, and the Comprehensive Guide to Getting Safe, Volumes 1 and 2.
Wow.
And I had a lot of fun with this project. I had one of my students wrote me a note and said, "Dear Miss Gaddis, if I had $1 trillion, I would hire you to be my teacher, because if you stayed with me from 6th grade to high school, guaranteed I'd graduate." I took his note and I used it as a basis to ask other kids, what would you do with $1 trillion?
And I took when I was a kid.
I took all their answers and put together a little book called If I Had $1 Trillion, Economic Literacy from a Kid's Point of View.
What does that mean?
That's just an opportunity for us to think about what kids would do if they had an abundance of money, and the perspective that kids have for what exactly is $1 trillion, and all the different things that kids would do with it. And one of my favorite pieces took me 9 years to compile, and I asked children everywhere that I traveled, if you were safe, what do you want the grown-ups in your world to know? What do you want your teachers to know? What do you want your parents to know? I took the best of their answers.
That's a great question.
And there's a book compiled, What Kids Want Adults to Know. And so I'm so excited to share the story and to live in gratitude for those original 160 children whose honesty and courage changed my life and gave me an opportunity to share my learning with many others and hope that it will help other people's lives as well.